This following review is brought to you by BigBadToyStore.com. If you like what you see in the video, please check out the link in the description below. Hey guys, welcome back to another review. This time we're going to be looking at the D-Arts Lizardon, or here in the States, we know him as Charizard. Of course, this is another Tamashii Nations Bandai product. Here's that Show Pro label again, like I said in the Mewtwo review. The box is very, very nice. Huge. It's a little bit bigger than the Mewtwo, but the same all-around deco as his box. If you haven't seen the review for that, I did one. Please check that out if you can, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So first off, on the box, it's nice yellow. It's kind of pale on the camera. You can see we're getting a nice little rainbow effect on this holographic ring. And the window shows Charizard in there, who is very deep in there. This time, he has a window up on the top, unlike Mewtwo, so you can get some light in there so you can see him. Some D-Arts on the side. A nice black and white picture of him right here. Lizardon, obviously, over there. Same kind of picture except for the silhouette over here. A holographic Charizard down here. Very nice that they're paying homage to the old school Pokemon cards and stuff like that. Well, at least I would think that they are. Some poses, accessories, blah blah blah. You can pause that if you want to look at it. Another holographic. And then on the bottom, it's very plain and just probably some product information in there. So let's get this guy open and check him out. Okay, and we're back. And the main reason I took it out of the box and left it in the clamshell is to show you guys that there is a lot of empty space in here. You can see there's a fireball thing here, and then Charizard. And the reason why the box is long and all is because of his tail. They could have taken it off and made it smaller probably, but that's why the box is so long, I guess. That's just my main guess. But there's all this empty space where they could have thrown in extra accessories. So he also comes with a little Lizardon circle that is in the back of his packaging. It goes back here. Instructions, and then your what is now the standard D-Arts Pokemon stand, same thing as the Mewtwo one, and I will put that together in a second. Alright, so here we have the main ingredients of the box. As you can see, there's not really much accessories or anything, like I just said. There's just the stand, the fire effect, and then Charizard. First off, the stand is, like I said, your basic stand that's been coming with the Pokemon, I believe. So it's going to be him or it's him and Mewtwo, and then it's probably going to be the rest of them. Who is it? Blastoise and Venusaur are coming out too. So this will most likely come with them, and it comes with the clamp, the adjustable thing, and then the peg. And how you would attach the fireball is there's a peg underneath, a hole underneath, and you'd peg it in like so. And then I believe that because of the type of plastic that this is made out of, it's pretty hard to get that peg to go in there, but it goes. Just gonna make it work. Well, while the fireball is up here, we'll take a look at it. Alright, as you can see, it's made up of red and orange, I believe. Red and orange translucent plastic. The camera is picking up the colors very nice, and you can always shine a light behind it, make it look even cooler. So there's that, and that's the only effect that he comes with, unfortunately. Though Charizard only does this little fireball thing when he's like grunting and then lets out that little fireball. This is not one of his attacks, I don't believe. Doesn't look anything like flamethrower or fire spin or anything, so I'll take that off. If you haven't noticed this already, he cannot use the stand with the fireball. There's only one arm and one clamp. So if you were to, let's say you clamped them to the stage and you want to have them use the fireball as an attack or whatever, it's not happening. The only way you'll be able to do it is if you have an extra one of these. This did not come with it. This is just one from my personal collection, and what you would do is you'd punch out this little thing right here and it would come out the bottom and you'd peg it in. Okay, let's take a look at Charizard now. As you can see, he's mostly orange. He's coming up a lot brighter on the camera than he actually is. He is a great color. I think it's perfect for him. It looks just like him. And he's got some shading down the head. You can't really see it, but it's mostly, he's like a light orange and then he's shaded with a darker orange. And that repeats in multiple spots, usually like the high spots of the figure. Then he's got the yellow belly that follows all the way under his tail. He's got some blue wings. These are I believe painted in a lighter blue and then shaded with a darker blue. He's got some blue eyes that are probably, oh, there you go. They show up on the camera actually really nice. He's got his white teeth and pink tongue. Inside his mouth is a brownish red, and then we have the translucent flame tail. Really nice. So let's go over his articulation. How about that? Does that sound good? Alright, so for articulation, Charizard's head is on a disc kind of ball thing. Right here, a lot of people like to call them ball joints, but they're really not. It's not a true ball joint. He does have ball joint in here and a ball joint in here. You can see he gets some movement. He's a little bit tight right there, but it still moves. So you get this all around kind of movement. He can look all the way up as far as you possibly can. You can look all the way down. You can do a lot. He's got a lot of range of motion. He's got a joint in his jaw that allows you to open his mouth. And believe it or not, he actually has a little ball joint on his tongue. So he would just lift up his tongue just a little bit. I don't know if that looks any different, but his tongue can actually move, and you can do like a hungry face Charizard with his tongue hanging out to the side. You can do whatever. Okay, working our way down, we'll go to the wings first. So the wings are on these small ball joints. It can move around just about that much, go up and down just a little bit. He's got a joint here. Single joint can lift pretty far out and pretty far down. Same thing for the upper part of the wing here. Okay, so he's symmetrical, so all things are the same on both sides. He has a shoulder joint. It can go like that. I believe it's a ball joint because you can do like an all-around movement. It's got a swivel at the upper part of the arm. It's got another one of those disc ball kind of things for the elbow. It can bend in, straighten out. Not completely straighten because of the elbow pad here. It can also swivel. And then his hands are on ball joints. So a lot of nice articulation on the top half. So here's the fun part. the legs are on very strange joints. They're kind of like your standard figure arts where it can drop down and move. It's just you got to learn how to work them. So I'm not going to be able to explain to you guys exactly what it is. He can just move all over the place. So he's got a, you know, pretty much he has a 360 on here. His leg down here has a joint that can go in and out and can move around a little bit. And then his foot is on a ball joint, so you can get some steady movement, or steady poses with his feet on the ground. Okay, so here's the other fun part. Just like Mewtwo, he has this multi-jointed tail. There's a piece right here that kind of hides the junk that goes in between connecting the tail to him. So you can move this, you know, pretty much all around. I can actually show you guys what it looks like because the ball comes off. See, it's a double ball, and that repeats throughout the whole thing. And this is kind of what I was trying to tell you about the legs. You can see in there, there's double ball joints and moves around. And you got your socket there, and this is just like a little spacer kind of thing to hide the gaps. So I'm gonna attach the tail again, and it comes off really easy, so it's not a big deal. I believe these are the same as those, so there's, you know, in between here and here there's a ball and then another ball. It's a spacer, so it repeats all the way down. And at the end of his tail, there's no articulation on this thing. I wish this was on a ball joint, because when it goes down, it looks really funny. I wish that I can have it on a ball joint and lift it somewhat up, you know what I mean? So I would have to do that, and that's as far up as it's gonna go on its own. I could move the whole tail up and get it like that, but you know, I'd like to have it be able to turn around, and also I'd like to have it be able to be seen from the back without seeing the yellow here. But just a little minor nitpick. Alright, so final thoughts on this figure. First, I'm going to start with something that I just went through that kind of frustrated me, is that this stand is pretty much useless unless you're going to use the fireball. This clip does not hold anything. He weighs way too much, and there's nowhere to really hold on his body to where the clip can fit around him. You know, maybe somewhat underneath there, but he just falls right out because he's so heavy. He weighs down the whole stand. So that's the main thing. I wish they would have gave him a peg, maybe somewhere underneath him, you know, somewhere like maybe around, I know it's gonna look funny, but somewhere around there, so that you can at least peg him up and get him to fly or whatever. But you know, what can you do? So that's one of my little nitpicks. I have another one. If you can see that the wings kind of do that, I wish that the wings would straighten out a little bit more, but they can't. So if they would have put another ball joint in there, it would have been really nice. Another thing is that his legs don't straighten out far enough, so that when you want to get him in a flying pose, he kind of does that. It looks kind of funny. It's not a big deal. And then I already mentioned this, but I wish this was on a ball joint. Other than that, I love this figure. It's really, really nice. I love all the features, everything about it. It's really great, and I'm excited for the rest of the figures to come out. So let's get a size comparison in here. Alright, so here's the height for Charizard. He stands about 4 to 4.5 inches, depending on if you're counting the horns or not. Himself, that's how much he stands. And then he's about 5 inches and a quarter. So that's how tall he is scale wise. But let's put him up next to Mewtwo. He looks pretty good with Mewtwo. I believe that Mewtwo is not as big as Charizard is. I don't really know, but they do still look very good together. And just for another kind of comparison here, we got Lunatic from the SH Figure Arts Tiger and Bunny line. You can see he's a lot taller than them. I guess since we have the room, we'll throw in DCUC Blue Beetle, who is a true 6-inch scale figure. So you can see Charizard is not as tall as maybe some people would think. I personally thought he was going to be taller, but it's not a big deal. Especially, you know, if you're putting him up against Mewtwo, or you're putting him up against, you know, another like smaller Pokemon figure, it'll look good with them. But for these guys, they just don't fit in scale. They would technically probably be about this tall too. So I'm gonna move these two out of the way really quick. And for those of you who might be wanting to do a Super Smash Brothers display, recently the Revoltech Snake came out. I believe it's the Peace Walker version of Snake. So it's the newer one. It's not Solid Snake like you would see in Super Smash Brothers, but he looks pretty good. We'll stand him right next to him. As you can see, he fits in pretty well, so the pictures will come out pretty neat if you're gonna do some Super Smash Brothers displays. Alright guys, so that's it for my review. Please go check out the link below to Big Bad Toy Store if you want to pre-order this guy. I'll link you directly to it. And don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this, and add me on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram. So you're going to see some pictures of this guy all over my Instagram. And there's already some of him. So alright guys, thank you for watching.